Welcome to the happiest episode yet of Indy Homers. This is Tiger.B, and with me is our lovely and beautiful host, AJ. Hello, AJ. How's your Sunday been?
Well, it could have been better, but, you know, it is what you get. It's some rough waters, or rivers, in this case, I guess.
Yeah, it was. Phillip Rivers coming back after a 5-year hiatus. I think looked better than probably the image that most people had in their head. All week we heard about how he was a crippled old whatever. It's just I'm so sick of the meme that people decide collectively, at some point, and then that's just all you hear about.
Right.
I think he looked, I don't want to say great, but whatever is just a hair below great. I think Phillip Rivers looked fine in his return to wearing the horseshoe, and I really think that the play calling got really conservative in the second half.
Definitely so, and I was thinking about the why behind that, because Shane Steichen is not known to be a conservative play caller, and I'm wondering, is this to keep Rivers safe? I mean, he is older. Obviously, we're out of options. We have Riley Leonard. I'm no nothing against Riley Leonard, but Rivers is there for a reason. So I don't know. I'd like to know the why behind that a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm sure. We're recording this right as the game is ending, and I'm sure that Steichen's probably at the podium talking about it now. But the real reason is going to be probably not something he'll share. I'm guessing that keeping the quarterback safe is not something you want to say out loud. But I don't know. When you play not to lose, it's because you think you're going to lose. And I think that's why it really tightened up. They looked at the score at halftime. They looked at the score after 3 quarters. And they're like, holy shit, might be able to pull this out. And like Groupie goes.
Go Groupie.
For a 60-yarder. And it still had some leg on it after that.
Yeah.
To potentially win the game if we didn't live in hell. That would have been a game winner. But somehow, he goes and then his kickoff afterward was less than inspiring. It almost went out of bounds, which would have put the team at the 40. But they had a pretty decent run back, which put them at the 37, which gave them just enough time to come in and kick that winning field goal. And we wanted today's episode to be a big celebration of Phillip Rivers' return, that the Colts' playoff chances, I guess that they're not out, because losing against an NFC team is not the worst thing you could do because of the way they do the seeding in the AFC versus the NFC. But AJ, you've got some notes from the game. Can you give some highlights? What did we like about the game?
What did we like about the game? Well, our defense was killing it, especially in that first half of the game. I was really impressed at how they stepped up. Not that they had far to step up from, but wow. Yeah. Really good performance.
And really holding Seattle. I mean, Seattle scored 6 times. Let's not forget that. But also keep in mind that, like, if they're all field goals, like the ability that gives you to actually stay in the game, to keep the lead, and to win the game potentially. I mean, we did have the ball in our hands at the end of the game. Rivers threw his first pick of the game right at when it didn't matter. I mean, I guess you could say it mattered most, but it's right there at the end of the game when it's Hail Mary time. I've just got a lot of emotions about this game, but I'll tell you one thing that I will say is better than the last few weeks, because this is our 4th loss in a row, and our 5th in 6 weeks. The wheels are falling off this team, and I think the only thing that's keeping it together, though, is our performance today. Mm-hmm. We lost by, 2? Yeah. 1 or 2, whatever it was. We're really top analysis here, but no, it's just...
no, it was 2.
Yeah, but...
16-18, so yeah.
But that's the bitch of it, is that, like, that is a winnable game. And when do you score under 20 in this league and go, man, you could have won that game? Like...
What is heartbreaking for me, right, is we go through this over and over again. You have to start every year with a new quarterback, and at this point, just hope that quarterback lasts 2 or 3 weeks, I guess. I don't know. So we always have to start off with this kind of cautious optimism. And then, it almost hurts to get your fucking hopes up, because sure enough, some bullshit's going to happen. And then, we're right back where we were. So I had my hopes set so high. But then I think about that, okay? If this would have been the beginning of the season, right? And instead of Daniel Jones playing, it would have been Phillip Rivers, and there was a performance like that, I think I would have been okay with it. I really do. I think I would have been like, okay, well, this is the first game of the year. This isn't so bad. But at this point, I mean, the fucking roller coaster, it's almost too much to take. What do you think about that?
I think that, I know that mathematically we're still in the playoffs. I'm not even really concerned about the playoffs at this point. I think to start 7-1 and then to be where we were, and, that starting with that Pittsburgh game, we've won one game since that Pittsburgh game. That's the win over Germany, or win over Atlanta in Germany, and that one we had to go to overtime with. I don't know. I don't know what is wrong with this team, because put Daniel Jones in where Phillip Rivers was today, because that's where we lost last week. Okay, well, you say Daniel Jones got hurt in the middle of that game. What about the week before? Okay, Kansas City. Or no, I'm sorry. Was it Kansas City before Jacksonville? No, Houston. That's a winnable game. We lose that game. Kansas City, we go to overtime. That's a winnable game. We lose that game. And I don't know if it's this culture because of all these guys, but for a couple, Tyler Warren, Riley Leonard, Daniel Jones, damn near everybody else. I'm probably missing a guy or two, but damn near everybody else has been on this team for a while, at least a year, if not longer. And is this culture of, we went 8-9 in AR's first year. I'm sorry, 9-8 in AR's first year. We went 8-9 last year. Who knows where we end up this year? But I hope it's above 8 wins. And it is this, we got so close. Oh gosh darn it, we got so close. Almost all of our losses last year were within a possession. Our wins were too within a possession. But for the Jacksonville game, where we got smoked last week, and that's really, your quarterback gets hurt mid-game and you put in a rookie. So I'll scratch that one. But if you want to keep it in and keep my average from getting too close to being on the nose,
Well, let's face it, though. The quarterback, of all the positions, not to have consistency...
It's weird.
How?
I think the quarterback.
It can't be done. It can't be done with there not being a consistent quarterback.
No, you're right. And okay, so Josh Downs missed a big third down earlier in this game, and I thought at first maybe Rivers didn't get in the right spot, but it landed closer. Normally a missed throw is going to go out of bounds, right, or off someone's fingertips, or it's going to be a pick or something. This one was closer inbounds, and Josh Downs was outside. And we saw Reggie
outbound and down. Sorry,
we saw Reggie Wayne. Sorry, that's good. We saw Reggie Wayne kind of giving Downs some talking to, and I don't think it was that Rivers guy really fucking threw it wrong. I think it was more like, bro, you missed that. But I mean, I'm not gonna give Josh Downs a hard time for that. Like, they've how many reps have those two had together in the past 3 or 4 days? Not much. You're asking a lot of a guy with Phillip Rivers to come in and do the right things. And I guarantee you they didn't write up or draw up any new plans or any new plays from that weren't in the playbook already. I could be wrong, but we didn't see anything that looked real crazy out there. I think Downs just missed it. And so what? You miss a catch. It's not a big deal in and of itself. I'm not here to blame any one person for this Colts loss.
Well,
Even though we only scored what we scored, this was one of the more inspiring weeks that we've had here in Indianapolis leading up to a game in a while.
Sure.
Since we sort of took our downturn. And it was one of the more exciting games to watch because everybody was waiting for Phillip Rivers to get hit and then just be out of the game or something.
Right.
But he's not that guy. He's from that older school era of quarterbacks where he's a big guy. He can take a hit. He can take a fall. In
fact, it kind of after their first possession, he got knocked down, and he's going back to the bench. He got up quick.
Yeah.
I just saw this almost joyful smile on his face. almost like, well, I didn't die, so I guess I'm doing okay. You know?
This is his
I didn't break my hip, so I'm doing okay.
Right.
Besides
throwing in the backyard with your kids, which, I mean, between him and his kids, he's got enough to make an offense, right?
Right.
Him and 10 kids, maybe that was his goal. But, I mean, besides, throwing out in the backyard, or maybe even going and doing some training with pros, this was the first real action he'd seen since January of 2021, where we played the Bills, and similar to this game, he had the ball in his hands at the very end for a Hail Mary, and we came up short in that game. But going back to consistency with quarterbacks, something we looked up the stats, but it's not something we needed to see on paper or in black and white. The last time we had a quarterback here in Indianapolis that played every game was the 2020 season, where we had Phillip Rivers' one and only year. Got us to was it 10-6 or 11? I think it was 11-5 record that year, and we played a playoff game in Buffalo, a wild card game that we lost. But that was the last year we had consistency under center through the entire season. That's back when we only played 16 games per year. So he started 17 straight games, including that playoff game, and we have not had that since. And really, during the Luck era, we had, let's go back a decade. Let's start the season after Deflategate. We had 2 seasons where we had the same quarterback start. Three. Phillip Rivers in 2020, Luck in 18, and Luck in 16. I'm putting an asterisk next to that. I may not be 100% on that, but I'm pretty sure Luck started all those games. And so 3 out of 10 years, That's have insane. The same general, the same captain, the same chief, the same guy under center, the same guy. And that's what's affected this team for so long. And we, as Colts Nation, as fans, we are left with the baggage of all those years. And some of the players are too. I mean, some of the guys have been here a while. Jonathan Taylor, he's going to be going into his 7th year next year. Mo Alley Cox has been here for quite a while. He's 32, 33 years old. We've got Pittman, who's been here quite a while. I mean, most of our guys aren't brand new guys that we've got in. And there is this, I think, this baggage that drags with them, the same as it does with us fans, of being so close. Jonathan Taylor, in his rookie year, played a playoff game. He hasn't since.
And it was under Rivers.
And it was with Rivers. And he may not this year. I hope we do. I am not that guy. I'm not a pessimist. I'm not a cynic. I am forever hopeful. I'm forever optimistic. And that's why when I thought Riley Leonard was going to be our guy this week, I was like, hey, good. Maybe we won't make the playoffs. Maybe, but we'll give this guy some real good playing time,
Right.
Bring in Rivers. Hey, you know what? We didn't win the game, but we were right there. And that doesn't mean shit at the end of the day in terms of standings, in terms of our record, in terms of playoff hopes. But it I don't know. It gives me something. It gives me something because the way that team looked in Jacksonville last week, they looked dead.
It was bad.
It was really bad. But going back to Steichen and the conservative play calling, did we go for any 4th downs?
I think we might have gone for one. I can check back to my notes. But something else we had talked about during the game with the way that we're calling plays and what we're doing. I love JT. Everyone loves JT. Who can't love JT?
Yeah.
But I swear to Christ, is there anything that they can give him to do besides run up the fucking middle every fucking time they hand off the ball to him? Because, and I'm not saying, I mean, it's a game of inches, that becomes a game of yards, but everyone's expecting JT to get the ball. So if JT gets the ball and runs up the middle,
right, hand it off, but you just have him cut one direction or another.
Because when we saw that in a recent game where he started to go up the middle, realizing his little feet are going forward, and he's like, I'm not making any forward motion, so I'm going to stop moving this way and cut around, and it was great. But it's almost like he has to just go up the middle and just be straight by all sides, and he's pushing and trying.
He's following.
He never stops.
He's just going with the play call.
Right, and he doesn't stop moving. He doesn't stop pushing. But it's at this point just so obvious.
We saw nothing but almost exclusively run up the middles with Abdullah as well and Jonathan Taylor, and it just, I mean, look, for as long as I've been watching football with a critical mind of like understanding how the X's and O's work, I've always wondered, why are you going up the middle? And look, I get there's a lot of real estate between where you take the handoff and cutting to the outside of where the defense potentially could be, and by that time they're already, they might already be on to you. I don't know. I'm not in coaching. I'm a fat guy that watches football, and there's something to it, because I'm sure somebody would have said a long time ago, "Hey, let's do this." I'm not saying it's like something like, "Why you run up the middle ever?" It's more we're saying, "Why
Every
always run up the
time.
middle?" And he's such a gifted and talented guy that I don't know. I feel like that you go with the look that you got. And we saw Rivers a few times change the call at the line. I don't know how successful those would have been versus what was originally called into him on the docket. But man,
all of that, the first play, hand off to Taylor. Taylor goes up the middle every time.
We knew that Taylor was getting the ball.
And then
on
we're
first
not.
snap.
And then we're not going for it. We're just punting. I mean,
I
feel like we could have won.
We play
I think we could have
like
won
that when you want to bleed clock when you have the lead.
Right.
And being up by a point is not having the lead.
No.
Not when the other team has time to get the ball downfield and kick a field goal. They had no timeouts.
Right.
And somehow were able to come back and win the game. And give it to their kicker, whatever his name, Nuts Fuckface. He got 6 field goals. And a couple of them were long ones, okay? So give it to Mr. Fuckface and his whole Nuts family. But man, I don't care. Fuck them. I don't care anything about them. I don't care. But like, that put Seattle in position to score.
Right.
What were we calling them? The Seattle C words?
Oh, as I take notes, let's go through my notes, because something you might find interesting is
let's end on a high note.
Yeah, let's end on a high note. We actually have another high note. We started out
AJ's high notes.
AJ's high, almost like AJ's high notes, because so they start off as the
Notes of Hyden.
as the Seahawks. Oh wait, I'm back on the Chiefs game where they're the Chief cocksuckers. Hold on, that's not applicable. That's not applicable here.
Yeah, I don't see them being able to.
Yeah.
Andy Reid's gut is way too big for his mouth to get to a dick.
Yeah. So Seahawk Tua. Yeah, we moved to Seahawk Tua.
Not bad.
And then let's see, the C sucks.
Okay, yeah, not bad.
The C sucks. The semen stains.
Not bad.
The shitbirds.
The shitbirds. Oh, the Seattle, I tried to manscape and accidentally cut my nipple. Hawks.
The C words.
Seattle C words.
The cuntsies.
The cuntsies.
I kind of like cuntsies. It sounds like a girl group. I want to be in a punk girl group called the cuntsies.
They trimmed a drop C.
AJ and the cuntsies.
I'm gonna drop C.
Yeah. So the cuntsies. And then I just put 18, 16 fucks.
I love your notes right there though. That was right before Hope died, right?
Yeah, about Grouper.
You know what? Let's get it up to, hey, Mr. Groupie.
Woo!
You know what? You were there for us for the point after. You were there for us. You didn't miss all the game, and you had a 55-yarder, and they saw how much legs they had on. That's why we had the faith in you to go for that. Was it 60 or was it 50?
60.
It was 60.
60.
That's right. Hitting that 60-yarder. We really like that. That there's not a lot from this game there's not a lot from this game to dislike. There's definitely some things. We discussed them. Running up the middle, being ineffective, and one of your strengths, Mr. Steichen, is being a madman and going for it. And I get, no, you don't go for it every time on fourth, although that seemed to not be a problem for you all this year. But just, I don't know, the conservative play calling, when this isn't a conservative time of year, you brought a guy in who, out of fucking retirement, out of desperation, you didn't do that if you're like, well, let's play for moral victories, right, and hope for a middling draft pick like we continually have been doing, okay? This is desperation time, so play like it's desperation time, right?
Right. Fucking do it. Let's go. Let's go, as River said. So let's fucking go.
We had so many funny pictures of Seahawk fans we wanted to share with you guys on this pod because, haha, look at them. But we're the ones.
Yeah, we
lost.
So
just picture our faces, and then, I don't know, someone wiping shit all over the picture because as Colts fans, we deserve the shit wiping.
No.
The fans. Us fans.
No.
No, we should have been Seahawk fans all along.
Fuck that shit. Their coach looks like a fucking
he looks like
elf on his shelf reject that you buy at the fucking Dollar Tree. So
That's
fuck
right.
him.
We called him. What did we call
fuck
him?
them.
What we call him? Shit pants shingle.
Shit pants kringle.
That's like
Shit pants kringle. We did say that the Cooper Cup is a Diva Cup alternative, or a
What's a Diva
BJ giving the Diva Cup, the little.
It's a little cup.
Catching up that. I can't quite do it.
Well, anyway.
I've been screaming at the TV too much. My lips are going.
The Diva Cup, for gentle listener who may not be familiar, just search it up. I'm not going to tell you.
Yeah.
What else did we have? The Cooper Cup is a Diva Cup reject, and then also it was
blowjob giving contest. The Cooper Cup.
That's the trophy you win. Is the Cooper Cup? You
I don't
win
it.
The first to fill the Cooper Cup.
Oh.
It has to be 8% saliva or less.
Oh God.
They test it. Don't ask me how I know, but I'll tell you if you do. Thank you for listening to Indy Homers.
Go feminism.
Always go feminism. We're so woke here. We hope to be back next time with some better news, and we appreciate you listening, right?
Yep. We appreciate you.
You are AJ?
Yep. And you are Tiger.B.
Tiger.B. Love you guys.
Love you. See you next week. Bye.
Bye.